I got one question to ask all of you guys who are in the travel space. I got one question to ask you. Who are you niggas? Who are you niggas? Like, real fucking talk. Who are you guys? Who the fuck are you?
Turn it up, Gino.
I do not know what I'm looking at on this landscape, but it is not a pretty sight. It is not a pretty sight at all. Last week, right, I was reading the comment section for one YouTuber who goes by the name Game Abroad. Any of you that have been watching content in relation to Thailand, you know this nigga, you know about him, okay? You know of him, you've seen his content, right? Now, I'm gonna be all the way real. From the very first instance of me seeing his channel, I already knew exactly what fucking time it was. First of all, because he's not the first nigga to do this shit. And something tells me he ain't gonna be the last. Something tells me this is about to be a whole new lane of lameness that we're about to see. Okay? But this is a model that seems to be rearing its head, specifically in Thailand, which is very interesting. Because Thailand's not the only place niggas could do this, but it seems like Thailand's the specific spot these motherfuckers have chosen. Which is annoying because Thailand's my favorite spot at the moment. So, these dudes are out here like Game Abroad, and they're doing this shit where they are wifing up whole harlots. They are parading prostitutes around the town, and even worse, they're filming the shit, slapping it on YouTube, and framing it as, this is my goal. A bitch who quite literally anybody can go down and get. And this is what's wild, right? This is what's wild about the shit. Dudes will be sitting there in the comment section like, man, I want to get me one like her. Nigga, you can get her. You get one like her? Nigga, you can get the exact same model. Fuck you mean like her? You can get the same thing. She got a sister or a cousin, nigga. You can go get the thing you want. You want her, you go get it. Because I mean, clearly you guys don't give a fuck about the fact that she's ran through or that she been, you know, getting piped down. Whether you niggas don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You don't care. And let me just slow my roll a little because I want to keep this concise because I've tried to make several videos over the last few weeks or whatever, and I'm always struggling because of the simple fact that they you know, I start going off the rails and derailing myself and going on tangents about all kinds of things. So I'm going to keep this very laser focused and specific on what I'm trying to talk about, and that's you motherfuckers, you niggas. I don't know who you dudes are that are in this black travel sector space today, but you want me to tell you what the twist is? The twist is that I do know who you are. The twist is that I do know who you are. You're the same things you always was. And the craziest thing about it is, it ain't a new thing in the travel space. Guys will be like, oh, it's passport bros. Nah, this ain't a new thing. This is just how men in general, especially black men, but really men in general. But I'm going to speak specifically to you black men because that's what I am, and that's the people who are mostly the consumers of the content I'm talking about, that Game Abroad. You motherfuckers, you are the most hypocritical, pathetic, and I'm just going to be honest, downright despicable and disgusting motherfuckers. And the reason why is quite simple, because you have absolutely no standards. And not only do you have absolutely no standards, but you have no principles. And the worst thing is, you guys lean in the direction that's always the wrong direction. Every time. Every time, without fail. You always prop up the motherfuckers who shouldn't be getting propped up. Every time. This ain't something new. This didn't just start now with YouTube. Look at the fucking black community. Look at the media we've been putting out. You lot are always pushing the fake and the fraudulent. Look at the hip-hop industry. How many people have been exposed for this, that, and the third? But you niggas still love them. How many people have been exposed for all kinds of weird kinds of behaviors and abuse and, you know, doing who knows what with underage motherfuckers, but you guys still rock with them though? There's motherfuckers right now on YouTube who've got cases confirmed that you can pull up right now, records where they're known to be, you know, things that I can't even say on YouTube without getting my channel, you know what I'm saying, hit with something. That like, there's guys that are out here on YouTube right now. You can pull up to their panel right now. And they're known for being on some other type of shit that in the normal, sensible world, nobody would want to associate with. Yet for some reason, over here on YouTube, you niggas ride with these motherfuckers. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I'm saying this as someone who actually grew up in the internet. I'm Gen Z, I'm specifically a Zillennial, which a lot of you won't know, but a Zillennial is someone who is right at the cusp of being Gen Z, like start of Gen Z and, you know, the end of millennial, right? So I'm basically, I call myself an elder Zillennial because I'm literally the beginning of, you know, I was born in the beginning of Gen Z. But basically, what I'm trying to get across is that I'm in one of the youngest generations. So I've grown up with the internet. I grew up as one of those kids who were on the computer, on the PC a lot. I'm a massive gamer. I've been playing video games and all that kind of shit. So I'm a tech savvy, internet savvy motherfucker. And I've seen some weirdos online. The weirdos were always online. They've always been online. Everyone knew that back in the day. During the 2000s, everyone knew that the weirdos were there. That's why things like online dating, that was always the weirdo thing to do. Now I understand that as time's gone on, that's changed. But one thing that seems to still be somewhat consistent is that there's still a lot of weird ass motherfuckers who are online. It's just that there's a lot more of you now. And on top of that, you guys have figured out a way to monetize your weirdness. You figured out a way to monetize your unsavory characteristics. And what's wild to me is how when I see the numbers, because that shows me how many motherfuckers actually fuck with that shit. That's what's truly disappointing to me. And not only do I see the numbers, but I see those numbers in comparison to other people who aren't doing that shit. And it's disturbing. Because what it says to me is that the vast majority of you motherfuckers, you would prefer to ride behind and run behind motherfuckers who are fake. And not only just fake, but like they literally represent what all of you claim to be shit that you don't fuck with. When it comes to black people, like we'll act like, oh, we don't like the fake, we want to keep it real. But niggas who's fake, you still prop them up. Now, I always give the shout outs to, look, there's some people out there who they're not fucking with it no matter what. And I see some of them out there either dropping content or being in the comment section, and salute to them. Because those motherfuckers, there's some people who just ain't going. They're not going. And I respect that. And I will acknowledge and say I see those people too. But what I see far too much of is how many of you don't give a fuck and you're still going with it. And I'm not gonna lie, you motherfuckers proved all the women that were talking shit about Passport Bros and black men traveling, you niggas have recently, with that whole Game Abroad fucking fiasco, you proved them right. I used to be one of the people who, anytime people would critique Passport Bros, I would just immediately be like, nah, fuck all that, da, da, da. And you know what the thing is? I'm not gonna let you guys take that from me. I'm not gonna let you guys take that from me because there's still, the general ideology, the general philosophy is still something I believe in. Right? The general idea that you as a guy should have your own personal sovereignty and freedom of movement, and you shouldn't be feeling like you're restricted or chained to this land or this location or this group of women or whatever. I still believe in that, and I'll still push that, and I'll still live it in my own life too. And I'll always support any guys who you know, that's how they want to move. But the guys that you lot are championing as being like your figureheads or your leaders or your main faces of this movement, like, you motherfuckers, it don't make sense. And this is the craziest thing, it shouldn't have been a movement to begin with, but if you're gonna make it a movement, at least elect some people who are good representation. That's just common sense. But what I've noticed is you motherfuckers, you always tend to push the people who there's always something dodgy in their background, or there's always something they're doing that it comes to light and it's not real, and it's some, like, and this is, again, this ain't new. This is what niggas always do. You always push the wrong people, man. And I'm starting to think the reason why is because most of you are wrong yourself. And what it is you're seeing yourself in them. You're seeing what you truly are in those people. See, the reason, and this is a harsh revelation that someone like me, who is quite genuine, had to come to, is that the reason why those who are fake are always getting pushed to the forefront, the reason why those who ain't really real are always winning is because most people ain't real. The reason why most people push fake is because most people are fake. That's the reality of it. Now, I always knew that was kind of the case, but it's sad that even on the internet, where most of you are just commenters and have anonymity behind avatars, you still can't fucking be real. You still, let me rephrase that, because that's not even accurate. This is where you guys are being the most real. This is where you guys are actually being truthful. It's out there in the real world where you guys are faking. See, in the real world, you have got your face attached to your actions, and people can see who you are and what you're doing. So there, obviously, you're going to be a bit more precautious. But now I can see that when you guys are online, you're being who you truthfully are. That's what it is. And what it is the vast majority of you, that's what you like. You like game abroad, the game abroads and the travel versities of the world. And it says a lot about you. It says that what you are is you would want to be those type of dudes. That's what it tells me. I cannot believe some of the comments I have been reading. Guys sitting there saying, oh, what does it matter? Everybody's got a past. What? So you're the same type of dudes then, that if you found out that some guy was doing some messing with some underage people or whatever, you're going to turn around and be like, oh, everybody's got a past. But you know what? I shouldn't be surprised, because there's a Negro in the black travel sector right now who's been already known, who's been tried and convicted for some similar type of shit, and you niggas still rock with that motherfucker. So I shouldn't be surprised that some of you are like that. The women in West End, single mothers, they're harlots, all their body count. Shut up. Don't ever speak about body count or single motherhood ever again. Because the second you guys run foreign countries, that's the first thing. You guys don't, this is what's crazy to me, especially with a place like Thailand, where I've been there multiple times, and I'm going to keep going there. You guys specifically go there, or you watch these people who go there, and they go for the exact types, specific types that you guys talk the most about, oh, that's not good, this is bad, blah, blah, blah. But as soon as you're there, that's the first thing you're running towards. It makes no sense.